So this is Nadira Noorjahan from Muzilog Woman, and I am here to interview Benny Barksdale Jr. I affectionately call him Uncle Benny, and one of the most thrilling saxophone players that I have ever had the pleasure of not only sharing the stage with, but of actually sitting and enjoying. So, hello, Uncle Benny!
Hello, my dear. I'm so happy for you to be here.
I'm so happy too, and we are presenting you in our section of our publication. Well, our publication is a movement of phenomenal women and the people that support us, and we have a section in the publication called He is King. And you being a king, one of the things that we do with this section is we highlight men, black men specifically, who have contributed to society and to the diaspora in a positive and strengthening way. So, first of all, let's talk about you. When did you start playing the saxophone?
Actually, I started out playing clarinet in elementary school.
Wow.
And I came from a musical family. My mom played piano, and my aunt plays piano. And my father was a jazz drummer. So by my playing the clarinet, my father said, "Well, why don't you pick up the sax?" I said, "Okay." Looking at the saxophone, the first time looking at the saxophone, I told my father, I said, "Dad, I can't play that. I had too many keys on it."
It's too much.
So anyway, I remember my grandmother. She bought me my very first saxophone.
Oh wow!
From a pawn shop, when I went to junior high school, I stayed on the sax. I was in the school band, and one thing led to another. I went from alto sax to tenor sax.
Wow.
And then from tenor sax, I had the soprano. So I play all three horns.
This I am very familiar with.
So I'm just happy to be at. Music is just been my livelihood.
So let me ask you: how old were you when you started playing in elementary school? So you were really, really little.
Yes.
So that is a challenge. The saxophone in elementary school? Yeah. When did you know that you were any good?
Well, I wanted to, once I started playing the sax, I figured I like the sax. Once I started playing that was what I wanted to play.
You were in love.
I was in love. Yeah.
Wow. So that's it's really tremendous. And I never learned to play an instrument myself, but I've always admired the dedication and the actual kind of marriage that some instrumentalists have with their instruments.
Right.
I think it's a very beautiful thing, and it actually shows. It's displayed in the way that you play. Because if you don't love what you're doing, it will show.
Oh.
And so, some of our friends like Rich Tucker and Chris Odom, and Stan Brisbane, that these guys love what they do because they do it so well. And I remember when I met you, 7165, right? Is that where we met? Oh my gosh!
Excuse me for cutting you off. I didn't know anything about Brett Jolly or none of those guys. A friend of mine, a real good friend of mine, played keyboards. Her name is Dale Cottrell. And she was telling us that there's a band in Philadelphia a place called the 7165 now. They said, oh yeah, I don't care, You know, and I said, and she wanted to take us there to, you know, introduce us to his band. I said, okay, and, you know, I sat in with them. And we got, you know, one thing led to another. I played, the song I played was Georgia. And,
I love that song.
Yeah. So, you know, once I played that, you know, I got to, you know, meet Brett and all the guys, and then Brett wanted me to play with them all along. You know?
Yeah, Brett is another one. Yeah,
he wanted me to join the band. You know,
yeah, and I mean, what an addition you are to the band. You know, the experience of sitting there in the audience, and then the experience of actually being accompanied by you as a singer, as a vocalist, is like, it's two joys. You know what I mean? It's, you know, one joy is just listening, and the other one is being accompanied by not only a great musician, but somebody that knows what they're doing. You know, that's a right that vocalists have a lot of times is, and you know, a lot of times vocalists, we don't have, as vocalists, we don't always have the keys right, and we don't have all the techniques. We don't always have that.
Right.
Those of us who are underground, but you know, when you depend on accompaniment, you depend on those who actually know what they're doing, so that they can direct us, so that they can bring us in. And you and I, every time that we've shared the stage, it's been a perfect accompaniment. So I can't sing your praises enough. So I'm really excited about this CD, because you've been wanting to do a CD for a while.
Yes, I have.
And wow. It's beautiful, and we're listening to it right now. Wow, very beautiful. And you know, I think that I'd like for you to kind of share some of your grandest experiences on the stage. Like, who are some of the greats that you have performed with?
Well, I started out with my first road tour working with the Dells, the original Dells.
Wow.
And then from the Dells, I had the opportunity of working with the Nightlighters, New Birth.
Wow.
And in fact, one of their famous song that they did was KG, and that was off of the Nightlighters. It's Nightlighters, Morning, Noon, and Nightlighters. So you hear that. And then, of course, I had a chance to work with Evelyn Champagne King. And then the big one was with Alicia Keys. So
now you did have one. What was it, last year or the year before? Was it Let Us See? Or no, it wasn't Let Us See. It was Layla? Or who was it that you did the song for? Layla Hathaway? When your life was low, you had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
It was Layla, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, down at so Layla Hathaway at the Kimmel Center, right?
Right.
The Kimmel Center.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic life. So I remember, you know, we sat and had a conversation with your wife, Fran, and we talked about how things were when you were a young guy trying to chase after this pretty young lady, and how she was quick to try and turn you down. You know what I mean? And how your charm won her heart, right? And she's a beautiful woman, and I just love her so much.
She's been behind me, you know, my musical career. She's really been behind me.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I have dated a couple of musicians, and it's kind of hard dating a musician, let alone being married to a musician sometimes.
In fact, I did a song for her called Fran's Theme. And it's a
And it's on YouTube now, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I love it. I love Friends Steve, yes. Let's talk about some of your travels. Where are some of the places that you played? You've played outside of the United States.
Yes.
So where have you traveled to?
Well, I went to Africa.
Where in Africa?
What is it?
Oh boy, let me not have to pull you back. Nigeria, okay.
Lagos.
Wow.
Right.
That must have been something back then.
It was very hot.
Woo!
Very hot.
That's pretty much the whole of Africa. Hot.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot.
Yeah, was it outside that you performed or inside?
No, a lot of the. I think we were there. We were there for a week. We played at a lot of the. Like the civic centers and stuff like that. It was like we had a big crowd. This is when I was with Evelyn Champagne King. And other than that, the other one I was at the North Sea Jazz Festival.
Is this also in Africa?
No. This was in the Netherlands.
The Netherlands.
Yeah. I can't think of the name of it. Well, anyway.
I can't imagine you can remember all the places that you gave at. Tell me, like, traveling on tour back then, was it hard? Did you get paid well?
Oh yeah, we got paid good.
Yeah. Was it hard? I mean, what was it like?
It was nice. It was like when I was playing. They gave us a we call them like a
vouchers.
Voucher, right? Yeah, for our food, and it was nice. I mean, I enjoyed. Didn't have any problems at all.
So let's talk about the experience with the album. So how did it come to be?
Well, this producer named Butch Ingram from Society Records.
Okay.
So Society Hill.
Okay, Society Hill Records. Yeah. Okay.
And I told him, I said, I've always wanted to do a Christmas CD. So he said, okay, well, let's get it on.
Wow.
Get it together. So.
Wow.
So
how long did it take?
All together, it was about a couple weeks.
Weeks?
Yeah.
You did this in weeks?
Yeah.
See, that speaks to how great of a musician you are.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, it's a lot different than recording back in the day where you had to do the reel-to-reel stuff.
Oh yeah.
But like to say that you were able to do this in weeks, that speaks volumes of the type of musician that you are, and that's excellent.
Yeah.
So, wow. So what I know is that you and Auntie Fran would like travel back and forth to Philly and everything, but now COVID happened. I'm sitting here with a mask. We're kind of social distance now, and things are so different.
I don't know when this thing. I'm praying that 2021 will be a better year for all of us.
Me too. Me too.
So you can't play anywhere. And it's hard.
Yeah. So has it been a real hardship not being able to play?
Yeah. It's just very, very frustrating. I mean, and that's not only me. I mean, that's musicians all over the world that are having this problem.
Right.
And I'm just hoping and praying that things are let up. I mean.
Yeah.
And then of course the vaccine thing, but a lot of people don't want to. Some people want to take it, some people don't want to take it. I don't know.
I know. It's it's kind of like, it feels like the Twilight Zone to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
it is.
Where are we?
It's like we're living in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
It's sad. I mean, and then we're losing all the lives that are getting lost.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Yeah, it's very sad. Very sad. Very, very sad. But we do one thing, when things are melancholy or things are dismal, we always have music to rescue us, right? And I'm so grateful that you are still giving us music. You know?
This Christmas CD, I really wanted to do this to enlighten the people's spirits, and with all that's going on with the pandemic and all this, I wanted to just cheer people up, and I'm glad I did this. I really am.
I'm glad you did it too, Uncle Benny. So tell me something. Are any of your children musically inclined?
No. Well, I tried to get my brother. He's no longer with us. But I tried to get him to play, sax. In fact, he picked it up, and he wanted to play like everybody, everybody.
Just play right off the bat, right?
That's what I said.
It takes work, buddy.
It takes a lot of practice, and so he gave that up. Other than that,
Wow. Okay. Well, in listening to this, it just sounds absolutely beautiful, and it sounds like you hit your mark, Uncle Benny.
Yes.
This is a beautiful, beautiful CD, and I'm so happy. I'm so honored to know you as a fellow musician, as part of my family, because from the time I met you and Auntie Fran, you just embraced me as your kind of niece, I guess, and and I just admire you. I admire you both, and thank you so much for interviewing with me. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.